Good morning everyone, and welcome to the Endgame. This is the first recording that I'm doing where I'm returning to a specific Monster Hunter game. You may have noticed that hitherto, all recordings that I've done have had a bit of an introduction going on, as if I'm introducing you to the game for the first time. It's because I was doing that, but now no longer. All of the games that I'll be playing in this series are games that I've recorded before for the Endgame. So therefore, it'll just be me playing it. There's nothing more to say than that. Or at least not on that subject. On a separate subject, I can say that I've spent, well, how long have I been live for? I've been live for 44 minutes and 35 seconds as of right now. And that is how long it's taken me to actually get a group together. Not for this game, but just generally speaking. I was trying to initially play Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate. I then made a concession and decided, hey, let's do 3 Ultimate instead. That didn't work out either. I tried 4 Ultimate again, and then ultimately I've been forced to do this game instead. It's not that I don't like playing Freedom Unite, it's just that that was not my first choice. So, there you have it. Also, temperature report. Think of this as a sort of meteorological update. It's hot. We're coming into summer in Australia, and I'm sitting in a room that is getting progressively hotter and hotter. I feel like I'm in a pressure cooker, not just in terms of the temperature, but also in terms of my demeanor, which might be why I seem slightly more high energy than usual. I find that the best way to get a good commentary out of me is to piss me off before I start a commentary. I always find that I get a better commentary that way. I just become more activated. Probably not a positive thing, but anyway. Let's go. We are fighting Black Diablos for our first hunt. I feel like I've recently exposed myself to Black Diablos in a way that probably requires a break. We did, I think, was it 2 or 3 Black Diablos in Freedom 2 quite recently? Oh, I'm bringing the wrong type of drink, apparently. Well, the more accurate explanation would be that I failed to replenish my hot drinks. I always carry both of the drinks. I'm going the wrong way as well. Need to smack myself upside the head and start paying attention. But yeah, I always carry both types of drinks. But I guess today is the exception. Today is the exception. Yells is bringing a hunting horn when there are only 3 of us in total. Not really the way I prefer things to be done, but that's okay. If we were playing Freedom 2 though, that would be a good decision, because Hunting Horn is much stronger in that game. Aha, no stamina loss. As helpful as that is, I don't know if it's going to make up for the fact that Yells isn't doing much damage on his own, but I will cease complaining immediately. Because I am ultimately benefiting from his decision. Feels good to finally be hunting, I have to tell you that. See, I was actually trying to get a run-up for a dive there, but it was refusing to sprint. And by it, I mean the game was refusing to allow me to sprint. Thought I was about to suffer at the hands of a terrible combo there. That was almost like a fake on the part of the Diablos. Looked like he was going for or rather, excuse me, looked like she was about to go for someone else, and then it turned out that I was the real target all along. Scary shit. Thank you for the opportunity. It doesn't feel like the hunt's been going very well so far, but it's alright, that can change like the wind. Arx has opted for Thunder Element, and the reason why, I would presume, is that ice cannot actually be shot by the Lao Shan Lung heavy bowgun. So he's made the decision that he would be doing more damage shooting thunder with that bowgun than if he were to choose a weaker bowgun and shoot ice instead, which is probably a fair decision. Because I'm a bit of a purist and don't like shooting anything except the most optimal element against a monster, I do actually go and use an ice bowgun when I want to shoot ice. Well, that's just crazy old me. Crazy non-min-maxed me. But yeah, the Lao Shan Lung heavy bowgun, the Lao Shao Can, as it's called, literally, word for word, the Lao Shao Can. It's probably the strongest heavy bowgun in the game. It's excessively effective. Oh, is this the first we're actually receiving attack up? I think it might be. Either that or I'm extremely unobservant. I'm feeling quite vindicated in my decision to use high-grade earplugs because we have had a lot of roaring going on here. Don't know what Arx is signaling for. Did he want a life powder? I don't think he would signal for life powders. I think he's above that. That's what it looked like. That Remobra thinks he's the main character of the scenario. Someone needs to let him know that he's really not being paid attention. Nobody is paying any attention to him. There we go. That's alright, P-Berry. It just means that the live stream's just going to be a little bit shorter. Probably more along the lines of an hour and a half. We'll see how we go. Bit off target though. I don't know if it's worth going for the tail, but I'm going to do it. Arx is shooting the tail because the tail is very good for a shot zone. As a shot zone. Oh no. Thank God Thank God she went off in a different direction. This is one of those monsters where you can be assured of the fact that it is actually female, so it should not be misgendering. Oh god. Nah. Never mind, I did get hit regardless. That seemed a little too wide, don't you think? I think I should have cleared that. It's always pleasing to bounce on white sharpness, he said sarcastically. I'm not going to fight you in the exit. That's never a good idea. Can be when you give me an opportunity, though. You're playing a dangerous game, Yells. Maybe he was banking on the fact that she would leave. Glad I stayed for the no stamina loss. I suspect we're both drinking psycho serums now. She's returned to where she started. Part of the reason why I'm recording Monster Hunter today, by the way, is that I feel I might have sickness coming on. I'm not sure. It's a very vague feeling in the back of my throat. that I might be becoming sick. And my girlfriend's also sick, so I'm probably catching it from her if I am developing some sort of sickness. So I thought that I would get ahead of events and record now while I was feeling okay, rather than run the risk of having, you know, another 2-week intermission between recordings. With little blades like these, the best that I can hope for is knockdowns on the legs. Can't really reach the chest or anything like that. If you haven't noticed, I've actually been spending a lot of time in this hunt healing. We're not going to comment on that any further. But I wouldn't want to ignore the elephant in the room. Oh, moonwalk. Ah, that was one of the weirdest ways for a person to die, to be honest. You just got Michael Jacksoned. That was critically effective. God, that was terrifying. The reason why I stood back during the moonwalk attack was because I was expecting a tail swing to come through. It did not. Diablos instead told Arx to beat it. I'm really just about out of potions on account of my, honestly, substandard performance. If I had sonic bombs, they would be going out now, but they're not, because I'm stupid. We now have death number 2, and, you know, it could be argued that by now we should have already finished the quest, but we do have a hunting horn user here, so... And I'm also playing like shit. Those are 2 things working against us as we speak. Arx is going that way, and I'm going this way. I think the reason why he's going that way is because he doesn't suspect that we're doing so little damage that we've actually managed to have her rotate in this direction. Arx is genuinely expecting Diablos to be weak. I'm so sorry to say that she's not. I'm also very sorry to say that I'm going to start losing stamina rapidly. Oh, God. Yeah, I have Black Diablos fatigue at this point. I really do hate that attack, just the tail swing, because the hitbox of it is so wide that even if you avoid the tail, you might get hit by, I don't know, the anus? The base of the tail? Yeah, imagine if we did 2 Black Diablos with this team. This is a sad day. Have to avoid the anus. The quickness of movement of this monster is preventing me really from getting effective demon dancing out. So what you were seeing me do there is not take the time to go into demonized mode, but instead just to at least get some damage out. The worst case scenario would be to go into demonized mode and then consequently lose my opportunity to actually hit the monster. I wouldn't be benefiting in any way from that sort of situation. Alright, well that was riveting. Would have been a whole lot more riveting if I lost all of my potions. Bumped the webcam there. I think we're still in place. Oh dear. Wind reduce. Yeah. What does that do? Does that just reduce the range of wind pressure? It's quite funny. Does that mean that actually negating wind becomes an encore? Seems a little unnecessary to make wind resistance a double horn skill, don't you think? Is it really that useful that you need to have 2 rounds of wind resistance? Oh, I see, it negates the urge to fart. That's extremely helpful. Don't think Congalala would have much to do that would threaten us if we came into a quest with that sort of song. I had heard of, like let's take the brown note for example, that's obviously going to create the urge to shit, but I hadn't heard of a song that prevented shitting, or at least prevented farting as we've discussed. Pretty, convenient. Alright, next fucking quest. Do I have in-game? Oh, great. Honestly. Just thought I'd show this. He's got a GIF up to show me how to enable in-game chat. What was he saying? Give me more thunder shots, is that what he was saying? What? Thanks for letting me host second area, didn't expect that. I don't know if he's being sarcastic or what. Is he wanting to host all of them, or is he genuinely thanking me that I let him host the second one? I don't know. I know that he can be quite specific about when and when he is not given a host over the monster, but I don't know. I was not paying attention to who was hosting and who wasn't because we all have decent connections, so there you go. DLC G3 star, it is more Diablos. Plum Daimyo Hermitor is a little bit boring. That is the alternative that we've been given, but we just... Arx is responding very positively to anything that gets put on the board, as you can see. But yeah, we did actually have this rolled. I don't know if after having seen that quest, you would want to have us do Black Diablos and Diablos in the arena. I don't want to do it, and I don't suspect that you would want to see it. But I could always be wrong. I might be misreading the room. But if it helps, I really don't want to do that. I have absolutely no desire. Okay, so Plum Daimyo Hermitor is, I think, weak to ice. Not thunder, like the other crabs. I'm pretty sure I've got that right, so we're going to hope that I'm correct. I'm not even going to check, because I should know these things by now. One of my problems is that I often second guess and then I just get confirmed to be right when it comes to the elemental weaknesses of monsters, so maybe I should rely on myself a little more. How about we go lands? No, not that. Dalda's Regulus. Arx may have posted a different sort of Plum Daimyo Hermitor as opposed to just, oh no, this is going to be the standard one. Very good. Nothing wrong with that. We've got the Kushala Daura Lance, we've got the Hornator Lance, which is called Darkness, Paralysis Lance, and we've got the Yukanlos Heavy Bowgun. Not something we often see. I think it's better than the Yukantor Bowgun, though. It probably looks cooler. Because it's got that big wide fin going on. Or shovel, if you want to call it that. Peaberry likes your rainbow straps, yells. Yeah, it's not too excessive, not too gaudy. I don't know if you can refer to rainbow as gaudy. Flashy would be the word. Not too flashy. I think gaudy would be anything that's excessively gilded. Referring to gold. Alright, so Plum Daimyo will start in the large desert area, the northern one, as opposed to the southern one. The main danger of this monster is not just the tracking of the body slam. So when he leaps into the air, he can actually track you. He also will shoot his water beam and then run to the side in order to widen its effective range. But we may not get to see any of that because for one reason or another, Yells has taken it upon himself to equip a Paralysis Lance, which is one of the better paralysis weapons of the game. Okay, I'm not really in a good spot. But yeah, I think this monster's going to be largely locked down as a result. So, that's fine. At least you can see what the monster looks like. I can promise you that at least. Oh. Turns out that you were going to come to me. And there you go. Honestly, the paralysis didn't even make that much of a difference in the end. The monster was going to die very quickly. On the plus side, I did get a giant black pearl. Goodbye, Plum Daimyo Hermitor. Yeah, a little bit of a stark contrast to the Black Diablos we just fought. Wow, I feel like we can actually do things now. I might take votes on which weapon I use next, and do that throughout. Probably a more fun way of selecting weaponry. So yeah, whichever weapons you'd like to see, I'll do it. May offer a challenge as well in some cases. For those of you who watched the Freedom 2 live or recording before, you may have noticed that the saving is a little slower here, which is weird. The saving is faster in Freedom 2, but everything else is much slower when receiving all of your points and money, etc. Tiger of the Desert. For a second I thought it was going to be Magazine Tigrex. That would have been problematic. I don't want to do that quest again. At least not so soon after the last attempt. Any requests for weapon types? Otherwise I'll just choose something of my own. Oh, sword and shield? Okay. That can be done. Managed to get Ultra Lucky Cat. I'm much more focused on my food boosts than my feline skills in this game. If you haven't noticed, I really don't care. Alright. Tiger of the Desert. Porky Panic Party. Okay. Porky Panic Party. I don't know if you guys would like to see that. We're doing Tiger of the Desert, one way or another. Sorry if I've now spoilt your anticipation for Tigrex and you instead now want to do Porky Panic Party. We've got a fourth hunter, Cyril. I think that's... Isn't that wine? Who is that? Cyril. Need to familiarize myself with who this is. It's a name that I recognize. Never mind. It's not a person that I know. Hit and Run. Whoever Hit and Run is. Cyril is using Island of the Gods G. This is a pretty clear... Oh. I suppose this person's really leaning into having maximum recoil with their paralysis shots. Because you can see the choice of using auto-reload and abnormal status attack up with this bowgun indicates that they're going for a status set. In my opinion, in a game like this especially, you should just be going for recoil. You don't really need, well, abnormal status up helps, but yeah, you can see this person is definitely lent into it by going auto-reload. For those who are unfamiliar, auto-reload will make it so that you don't have to reload your shots, it'll just load literally every shot that you have in your inventory for the shot type. The downside is that you will have maximum recoil applied to your shots. The exception to that are the shot types that are not affected by the recoil stat. So, yeah. Not necessarily a bad strategy. Because in the end, your DPS will still be pretty decent. Courtesy of the auto-reload. Apparently Yells has become so used to Hunter Arts that he's just pressing random buttons expecting things to happen. I don't know how that could be possible, but anyway. I thought that was a graphical glitch on the Tigrex's hand or claws, whatever you want to say. Hand. Maybe not hand. But no, it was just a shrub. We've just immediately started off with a flash bomb. I think this guy just wants to lock down the monster and that's about it. And there goes the legendary tail hitbox. Stand anywhere near the tail and you will get hit. Well, once again, you guys will be able to see the monster, but not for very long, because this guy is going for a lockdown strategy. He is flash bombing, trapping, and paralyzing. So, very good. And doing a chain flash bomb for when he gets out of the trap. I don't think this is going to please Arx very much, but that's alright. As I say, you'll be able to see the monster at least, but you won't be able to experience him very much. You're not going to be able to see much of what he does. Just what he looks like. I think Cyril was really banking on another paralysis there. He managed to get it off. Just not in good time. Possibly one of the downsides to shooting so damn slowly. I may as well cut the tail. Well, God forbid I raise my shield, hey. The tail can just come from the side and completely negate the effectiveness of my shield. Why not? Do you like that really blunt sound that the club makes when it hits the monster? I think that's great. They do a great job of communicating the blunt nature of the weapon. Objective cleared. Can we even carve him where he is? Suppose we'll find out. Looks like we can. And that's Tigrex. At least you know what the game can really be like sometimes. After that Black Diablo's fight. Arx says, "This is sad." Well, I don't know if this guy is expecting any plaudits from the team, but Arx is obviously quite displeased with this behavior. And in my case, I don't know. Finding a balance between fighting the monster effectively and then actually being able to demonstrate what fighting the monster is like is kind of what I'm going for. But that's alright. People can play as they like, I suppose. Remember, Tigrex is my lucky monster. I always get mantles and heavenlies when fighting him. It is the golden rule. We should post a Fatalis or something that this guy can't lock down and just, you know, make him leave. Well, I don't know if it would make him leave, but anyway. As I say, I'm not completely opposed to it. I don't think there's anything really wrong with playing that way. It can be a little boring, though. can be a little boring. Who rolls now? Doesn't really matter who rolls. Because the idea of rolling is that it's random. Doesn't matter if I roll or someone else does. The crucial point is whether or not anyone needs to re-roll. Alright, so the quest this time will be Kezu. Might bring a bow. Courageous Dream. While it may be a boon for me to have sneak on this set, it does at times make me feel like I'm playing a little dirty. Because obviously sneak, I mean, it's just attached to this loadout. I haven't intentionally, or maybe it's not attached to this loadout, maybe I actually... Did I gem it in? No, I didn't gem it in. It is attached to this loadout. Okay, I just wanted to make sure I wasn't talking out of my ass when I said that. But, you know, it's attached to the loadout. It's not something that I will usually gem in intentionally. I think I did it... I've done it in the past for hunting horn loadouts because I don't want to be... I was hoping to prevent the targeting that I believe happens when you play your hunting horn. It makes you... it causes the monster to be focused on you. And so I've used sneak in the attempt to... or in an attempt to counteract that, but for the most part, sneak is not good form when playing with the group. It's basically saying, hey, you guys can go and get attacked and I'll just stay back here and be safe. But anyway, while it is a benefit, it doesn't make me feel that good. I'm actually going to go to the bathroom now, rather than depart and then go to the bathroom, because this monster's going to be dead by the time I get there if I approach it that way. I'll be back in just a moment. No, I'm not making a deposit in the brown bank, or at the brown bank. That's one way of describing... I don't know. The expulsion of excrement. The discharge of fecal matter. No, I'm not doing that. Or rather, I wasn't doing that. One would hope that I'm not currently doing that. But at least you've now been assured of that. Nothing wrong with that. We don't want to discourage over-assurance on that point. Better to over-assure that I'm not currently shitting myself than to not assure one of that. Yeah, that is a nice base camp. I feel bad for this Kezu. He's not going to perform well. He's basically just going to get stuck and then die. I'm not sure what Cyril is doing, but maybe more of the same. I can see he's got a bowgun on his hands. I did accept his guild card, and I discovered that I believe his message is "I'm back, bitches" or something like that. Don't know about you, but I'm excited. Taking some very heavy damage, actually. This is not a fully upgraded loadout. Maybe I'll work on that. After this quest, I'm going to go and fix that. I will upgrade this set as much as I reasonably can. I'm assuming it's a lack of divine armor spheres that has prevented me from just doing that. Divine armor spheres are not commonly dropped. But it could be more accurate to say that the number of divine armor spheres that you would need to upgrade all of your armor sets is quite large. So consequently, you often need to hold off on upgrading. Which is obviously what's happened with this loadout. Thank you. Let's see if we can kill him in this area. Yep, we sure can. At least Cyril didn't decide that he wanted to lock down this monster, but I understand why. I mean, I don't know how effective a paralysis lockdown is going to be on a monster like this. Probably not very effective at all. Can't say I've ever seen it done. And I suspect there's a very good reason for that. You can see what I'm going for. Arx is obviously trying to, you know, interrupt it. Trying to get crossed bows, that looks really cool. That's just about it. It's hard to make small adjustments, right? Well, if you cross them in just the right spot, I think that would look quite cool. That is Kezu getting blasted into next week. And I've got a Royal Armor Sphere. I said Divine Armor Sphere, I think it's Royal that I'm talking about. It's called Divine in probably the later translations. The yellow one. I'll just call it the yellow one. To avoid confusion. Oh, there you go, there's a gold crown large. Didn't look particularly big, but you can see the size difference isn't a far cry from the silver crown that I had before. Alright, let's go and upgrade my armor. And I may use Rapid Bow again. Oh, I've got a shitload of these now. Got 72. Obviously I've been holding back for a little too long. Ah, true armor spheres. So true are actually better than royal in this game. I seem to have a memory of true armor spheres being the second best in later games. I don't think I'll be using up my entire supply by fully upgrading this armor set, and I think this is a worthwhile set to fully upgrade, personally. It's got a lot of usefulness. Our defense, our final defense value, is 351. Nothing too exciting, but yeah. Okay. Next hunt. Looks like we're doing Diablos again. It's going to be the Demon King. Demon King Diablos. I don't mind. Let's just do it. I said that I would do bow. Do I even have a rapid ice bow? I must do. Is this it? No, that's Piers. Rapid ice? I don't think so. Or is it icicle bow? No, it's not icicle bow. No, I don't think I have a rapid ice bow, which is unfortunate. So maybe that means I'll use this. Is that even a good idea? Should I use... Do you know what? No, let's use spread bow. If I'm going to be using a bow... Well, actually, I don't think it's a good idea to use a gunner loadout with Demon King's damage. So, ordinarily, Demon King Diablos is an offline-only quest. It is a harder version of Diablos with one horn missing. Now, if you have Japanese DLC, you are able to access an online version of that quest, which gives a special bow. It's called the Dia Sorte Arrow. It's a... Well, it would come up as a dummy bow if you didn't have a translated version of Portable Second G, but I do. And it's a Pierce Fire bow, the best Pierce Fire bow in the game. I don't remember what the alternative to this is, but this is considerably better. And that's the quest we're going to be doing, long story short. I might bring a gun there, so that sounds like fun. I've got no idea why it sounds like fun, it just does. Demonic Blizzard. Matches my chest piece. It always looks particularly ridiculous when you have a small head and a giant Ukanlu's chest piece. Look at that. I look like my head is being swallowed up inside of an Ukanlu's. I look like a freak of nature. Kusha is now calling Arx a daft cunt in the chat. Cyril is taking it upon himself to post what he wants. I understand why he might want to do that, but at the moment what we're doing... Well, why is that G2? Has Arx removed his quest already, or what's going on? Oh, I see. It's not coming up as a DLC, but it is effectively a G2 DLC quest. Understood. So this is going to be Demon King Diablos, as I said. I think he actually comes up as a standard Diablos here. What are you doing? What's the reason for this? Well, no, I'm gonna smack this guy. Hold on. And I don't mean yells. These guys look like they're getting ready for some Copper Blangonga, so I don't mind doing that now. But we will do Demon King later. I suppose I can... Well, no, I don't really want to keep with the same loadout, because Copper Blangonga is a little bit more mobile. So, I will change it to something a little better. Alright. Something faster, something faster. Well, actually, we can go bow with this one. But we don't have rapid ice bow, as we've established, so... Never mind, I won't use a bow. I'll use maybe a light bow gun. How about this? Yeah, I'm happy with that. Now, the situation with this bow gun is that I feel like I'm using it in some Are you shitting me? He's posted... Is this also a DLC quest, this double Copper Blangonga? Because, as you recall, I thought that he was posting Demon King Diablos because it was taking this long, but no. It seems that there is a DLC quest for double Copper that I wasn't aware of. Okay. And that is what this is. For a second I thought he'd gone and switched to Demon King Diablos, and then I would have actually shat myself on camera. But, fortunately, things didn't have to play out that way. It's a good thing for everyone, quite frankly. Well, I can't very well request ammunition to be brought by Yells or Arcs. Well, I guess Arcs can bring it for me. I'm going to give him some ice shots. Take my ice shots. Not you. You'll be using them. Oh, no space. Okay. Well, he's using... No, hold on. I thought that Arx was using a bow for some reason. That's alright. I just need to pay more attention to these things. Let's just go with this. I don't care. I'll have to be sparing with my use of free shot. I'll have to use 30 on one of them, then switch to normal 2, and then use 30 on the next one. That should be acceptable because, you know, this is a pretty strong group and they are going to have reduced health by dint of the fact that it is a double quest. 4 bow guns versus the brown monkeys. I think we've got a disconnection on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. If you get stuck on preparing quest for this long, it means that there's been a connection issue. This normally only happens when it normally only happens when you've got a person with a firewall up. That's frustrating. If it's Cyril who gets disconnected, and I think that was his name, I think I'm remembering that correctly, then I say we just continue on. Because definitely he was the one who caused the disconnection, if it was him. Here we go. Should just be him getting disconnected. Oh no. Must be Cyril who's causing that. It couldn't have been any of the other players, because it's something that you encounter with less experienced people on Hunsterverse. People who haven't organized their setup to work properly. This is slightly annoying. Oh, I have to go back and actually eat again. because we did enter the quest. If you get a... what's it called? If you get a communications error, it actually occurs before you enter the quest, so it's not necessary to eat again. But in the case of a disconnection like that, you have actually physically been in the quest, so it's necessary to eat again. I feel like I'm getting tickets out the arse from you guys. Actually, okay. Thank you. Any more? I guess I haven't been taking them recently. I was about to say, perhaps I've discovered an infinite fly-in meal pass glitch. I don't remember what fly-in meal passes are used for, but I'll tell you what, I don't use them. Whoops. I don't suspect that either Cyril or Arx actually ate. Either that or they're much faster at doing that than I am. I didn't actually finish what I was saying some time ago. I'm using this absolute bow in the interim. Really, this bowgun is for quests where I'm going to need multiple types of elemental ammunition in one quest. It's quite unique for that. Quite unique in that way. There's only, I think, the Genie's Lamp and this gun that... but no. Genie's Lamp I don't think rapid fires. It will shoot all of the elements, but not rapid fire all of them. I think this is the only gun that rapids all of them. It's quite useful for quests where you do need different elements in the one quest. But I prefer to choose a gun that's really useful for a particular element if that's the only element that I need. So in the situation here where I'm fighting a monster that's only weak to freeze, I'd probably prefer to get a gun that's really good for that. It would probably end up being better than this, but that's fine. Again? This is fucking ridiculous. It's Cyril that's causing it, surely. What a waste of time. It takes much longer to go through the motions of disconnecting in this way when we're joining up on a DLC quest. It takes longer to join up on those quests, so... Well, Arx is now citing biblical text in the chat, so... The situation has deteriorated. Who's disconnected now? Oh, everyone except me. Or rather, I was the only person. I don't know what that even means. What I can tell you is that we're probably going to stop playing with this Cyril guy, because surely he's the one causing this. I don't know why we weren't disconnecting with him before, but I don't think it's possible that it's any of us. Because in pretty much every situation, it's caused by someone not making an exception for PPSSPP in their firewall, which then results in network instability when trying to connect with, I presume, the VPN. So this Cyril guy hasn't actually fixed that yet. Whereas we obviously would have fixed that many, many years ago, back when we first started playing, so it must be him. Very annoying. And a frustrating waste of time. I didn't get any skills. Oh well. Maybe this is a sign to say that we shouldn't be doing this fucking quest. Where even is it? Beasts of the Dunes, here we go. I feel like I should be spared from having to join up on this quest again. I will enjoy my respite from sitting in the quest board screen. That is a lawnmower in the background, by the way. See how long it takes? It really is an arduous process. We're having a very informative discussion. This is presumably the biblical line. It looks pretty fucking biblical to me, but there was a concerning phrase, sex did not exist, and so that has become a topic of debate. And I've offered an explanation as to how people were birthed without sex, and I said birthed from the balls directly, which is, you know, about as probable as any other theory. Alright, Yells, let's go. We're not waiting for that guy who has caused our disconnections. You will find, I guarantee you, that we will have no issues playing as a group of 3. It was that 4th guy that was the problem, and he has excused himself from the session. Speaking of excusing oneself from the session, he's now doing the same. Oh, it seems that Yells was having connection issues. Arx was actually invisible on his screen, so now he's having to leave and rejoin to establish better connection with him. This is what happens when you're a phone user. That lawnmower is getting dangerously close to my microphone. Not in actual physical space, but, you know, the sound is getting closer. Very good. That's part of the reason why it can be frustrating to record during the week. I've often got lawnmowers going on in the background. But indeed, the world cannot stop for my live stream. That would be unfair to expect. The appropriateness of the ammo that I have on hand has changed, because we're now a group of 3, not a group of 4, so I hope that this will be good enough. What is distinctly not good enough, however, is the volume of the background noise that I'm having to endure at this time. But it's not a constant thing. It is occasional when I'm recording that I have to deal with things like lawnmowers, so let's just hope that this guy is very, oh, Jesus, I've gone the completely wrong way. Let's just hope this guy is actually really good at mowing the lawn and won't be going for very long. The worse he is at his craft, the longer we will suffer with the sound. I could always make the game louder. Sometimes when I have lots of background noise, I just try to make the game louder to drown it out. It can be a good strategy. I might actually do that on this occasion, because I don't know how long this will go on for, so I'll just make the game a bit louder. Big boulder. That can be the challenge with this monkey thing. not knowing whether he's going to do the wide multi-boulder or the big boulder that goes straight ahead. Sorry, that was not helpful. I actually caused him to get hit there. That was really bad. Case in point for the boulders. Go away. The background noise has subsided, so I will make changes to my audio, but I mean, it's not like the audio is stupidly loud, it's just slightly louder than I usually like it, so I'm going to drop it back a little bit. Alright. Never mind, it's coming back. This is great. Alright. We'll keep it at this volume, and that will be the safest option. Really, my lack of ammunition is not helped by poor accuracy. I'm happy to admit that. Oh Jesus, let's make sure that we paintball the one we've been aiming for. I'm not going to have the other one paintballed, because otherwise we're not going to know which one to aim for. I've decided that I really don't like this quest because this is probably a very predictable rotation of the monsters. This is probably how it is every time. That's not good. What is good, however, is that the Blangonga that we're fighting just took a massive boulder in the head. Zooming in on the map just so that I can be very clear as to which one we want to be aiming for. Again, I'll be shooting 30 freeze shots and then moving on to normal. I really hope I've got enough ammunition. Having two of these guys in the same area isn't as difficult to deal with as some other monsters, honestly. It can definitely be worse. He says as he takes a heavy hit from the side. Oh no. Danger zone. Our Blangonga keeps diving under the frickin' ground. Well, there you have it. Turns out that the amount of ammunition I have is entirely appropriate. Entirely appropriate. I'm not going to paintball that one. I think I've got Psycho Serums on hand, so we can always locate that one after the fact. You are throwing rocks at nothing, Mr. Monkey. Very good. Didn't really have to worry about my ammunition after all, but it's always good to be cautious. Well, not that my caution would actually make a difference. My apprehension is really the only thing that is noteworthy. My caution was not present, because if it were, I would have actually brought more ammunition. I did not. But I do remain apprehensive, or did remain apprehensive, and in the end, I was worrying for nothing. It is what it is. Arx is reacting to something in the chat. Let's have a look. No, I didn't kick that guy. Arx was asking if I had actually kicked the guy who was causing our disconnections. I didn't kick him. I think he left because he realized he was the problem. Either that, or he got sick of disconnecting. I think the latter is probably more likely, to be honest. Oh God. That's not good. I had to roll through that, actually, in order to not take the hit. Bloody hell. See, it's still possible that I would have taken a hit there if it ended up being the wide multi-rock attack. Yeah, this monster is unique to this game that we're seeing. Unique to this game that we're playing. Oh, I've got a Vespoid to carve. You get away from me. Nobody prevent me from carving this thing. Do not prevent me from carving it! It saves me the trouble of having to kill them intentionally. I actually quite like this subspecies because I prefer this version of Blangonga to the original one. It would be disingenuous of me to say that it's an uninspired or in any way poor subspecies if it ends up being better than the original. It just so happens I don't really like either of these monsters, and if I were to be honest, the fact that I find this one to be better than the original is more indicative of how much I dislike the original. It demonstrates how low of a regard I hold for that monster, but yeah. I find Blangonga to be absolutely insufferable, and I hate that they brought him back. I mean, why bring him back in 4th gen? Who was fucking asking for that stupid monkey to be brought back? Certainly not me. But maybe the cries of the Japanese acted as a sort of siren call for Capcom. I don't know, it was definitely not high on my list. Not high on my list. The leaping punch move, I don't think so. I don't think this one does that. No, he doesn't do it. No, that is a standard Blangonga thing. It's a good observation. I hadn't really thought about what attacks were not present that you could expect to experience fighting the original one. But yeah, he doesn't do that here. I suspect it's because he's got more ranged attacks. Or perhaps more effective ranged attacks. It's a monkey party. Do you know what? I don't really feel like doing Demon King Diablos because it's going to be in the same location. Let's not do Demon King. I don't know, it's just, I've got a little repetition scale that exists in the back of my head, and somehow that's crossed the threshold into being too repetitious. I'm certainly not trying to get out of the fight with Demon King Diablos, because I was quite willing to do it, but now the desire has waned and largely disappeared, so let's just do something different. Alright, we've got 4 Kings of Fire. It is a multi-monster quest. actually 4 monsters, Basarios, Gravios, Shogun Senator, and Lavazioth. And Arx likes it, although he's been very excited for every quest that's ended up on the board. Sarcastically excited, so I don't really trust his reaction this time. But it seems more genuine than the other ones. But yeah, this will be a fun hunt. I might actually go to my farm for a change. It's mushroom time. Oh. Nitro shrooms are quite helpful. Those are used for power coatings. So, more specifically, if I wanted to combine for power coatings in a quest, it is nitro shrooms that I would want to have on hand. Okay, so the quest is going to be... Well, is there a common weakness here? Probably water. It's water for all of them except Shogun Senator, and to be honest, I can live with that. Let's go with water element. Do I have a water greatsword? I think I do. It's the Plesioth Wave Blade, isn't it? Yeah. Do we want to use a greatsword? No, there's a Gravios included here, isn't there? Basarios and Gravios. I'm not using a greatsword on a Gravios, particularly not one that has solid purple sharpness. With Gravios in the mix, I'm actually dissuaded from using Blade Master in general. So maybe... Maybe Water Bow. Water Pierce Bow. I'm happy with that. Alright, catch you later, potato. Feels good to be playing Freedom Unite instead of Freedom 2, because in Freedom 2 I am not given the guaranteed Kirin cheese and golden fish brew. And I'm still not sure if that's just because of the cats that I have, in terms of the actual selection of them, or if it's because of the level of the cats, which obviously can, you know, one thing will involve the dismissal of cats, and the other will not involve the dismissal of cats. I do not want to dismiss cats, generally. But for anyone who is aware of cat dismissal, it's quite miserable. But there is a way around that. You do not have to dismiss the cat from the cat board. If you want to dismiss a cat in Freedom Unite, do it through the cat granny. Because there is no cutscene there. You don't have to actually feel like you are a monster given human flesh when you dismiss a cat, if you do it through the granny. So I would encourage all people to do that. And, yeah. I'm pretty certain, though, that I've got the correct cats. It's basically the same as what I have here. I just think I need to level them up more in order to consistently get those 2 food items. Baby Boom. Flocking to sleep. What do you mean, Baby Boom? I thought I was moving into a peaceful neighborhood when I bought the place. But there are hypnocatrices all over, meow. Please help me protect my house by hunting down at least 2 of them, right? Again, we're gonna have to go past Porky Panic Party. I do realize that this is extremely enticing. It is a prospect that would tantalize even the hardest of, or even the staunchest of Bullfango opponents. There is joy to be had in a Porky something? A Porky something party. Anyway, it just sounds so exciting, doesn't it? It sounds like a good time. And every time I choose not to select that quest, it's as if I'm passing up on a really, really good time. Alright, catch you later, Peaberry. Sleep well. It is getting late. It's not like you're going to miss out on the Porky party or anything like that. No one's going to see the Porky party. I probably have to, at some point, do the Porky party because there's going to be too much excitement and desire to see the Porky party or to experience the Porky party. Guess who's back? Back again. Alright, have I got my coatings? This is a situation where I'm definitely going to need to bring combination materials for my coatings, so... empty vial. Sorry, empty bottle it's called in this game. Silly me. Nitrous rooms, and I'm going to check to see if I can bring close range coatings as well. I can bring close range coatings, but I will not bring combination materials for those. Alright. I might actually open with close range coatings, seeing as though this is what I don't have combination materials for. I think this will be the last hunt, by the way. Seeing as though we've got... Oh no, hold on. I've been live streaming for 2 hours. I forgot that I had fucking 40 minutes worth of a live stream before I had actually entered this game and started playing it. Game volume back down. I think this goes up to charge level 4, doesn't it? It does. I do love this bow. We've already prompted the Basarios to move on. I think I might do this quest and then one more. We'll see how long this one takes. Probably won't take too long with this team. Oh, that was probably the worst positioning on my part. The ear prey was aiming for arcs, and then I just walked right in to where the poison cloud was being ejected. Maybe ejected is a stupid word. Point being, I walked into a poison cloud. That one was thrown at me. I'm not going to take the blame for that one. Seeing as though it's close range coatings, I may as well get a little closer. I'm not going to use any power coatings on this bloody monster. He's quite weak, honestly. He is a low health monster and he is one of 4 monsters, so yeah, I couldn't even finish the thought before he died. Is it mega potions for this quest? I'm just going to check. It is. Do not need. So I think they're spawning sequentially one at a time. So, Gravios. I don't know where he spawns. I don't feel that he would spawn here. I just have to attend to something. Very briefly. Okay, very good. Ow. I suppose we'll be hanging around here, seeing as though I've got no idea where to go, and no one else is moving, so... Psychoserum. He's over that way. And this time, of course, we will actually be using our power coatings. No, you're not moving on to the next area. Stop it. This looks like a really big Gravios. I don't know if it's just because we fought Basarios, who is a very small monster, and then, comparatively speaking, this monster looks really big, but... yeah, actually, this one's a pretty normal size. There is a possibility that he's slightly larger than normal, but... Gravios is a big monster. These guys are quite rightly seeking to do battle in this area of the map. Much better. That was a bit dangerous what I just did there. He's leaving already. Must be dealing a lot of damage. That's what we can hope for. Is he headed this way, or...? Okay, he's headed over there. I have much affection for the angry stomping off animation of the Gravios. At a certain point, he just decides that he's getting straight out of that confrontation. And he looks like a spoilt child. He's just stomping off angrily and at great speed. Oh god. If that had turned into a tail swing, I could have comfortably said that the Cyanator caused me to take a hit. I definitely would have been hit if that were a tail swing. Back off. I can see you trying your utmost to ruin my hunt. Alright, I'm gonna kill you. That's it. I think Arx has made the same decision. Yeah. What an irritating creature. Oh, not a good position for me to be in. I did press the X button at the exact time I got hit, but unfortunately, you're either early or you're late. It's not good for us to have 2 deaths at monster number 2. So... yeah, there are 4 monsters for us to kill. This does not bode well. I'm also tempted to hold off on using power coatings beyond 30. Because of how many monsters we do have to kill. I'm also cognizant of the fact that I am not optimized for a confrontation with Cyanator, given my element. To be fair, a lot of my damage is raw damage. This is not a very elemental bow. 324 attack, 140 water. So I'm not going to be completely useless. But Cyanator will be the monster that I'm least effective against, so I definitely want to make sure that I've got power coatings for that monster. When you get Gravios just sort of lumbering towards you, you can assume it's pretty likely that he's going for a tail swing. So just keep yourself far away from him. Although sometimes the tail swing is triggered by the fact that you're within range, so sometimes it can be nice to walk close to him and then get ready to move out of the way of the tail. This is not good. This is bad. Bad. Here I am with my X button again. Evading at just the wrong time. I'm very good at evading just too late. Just too late. And it ends up looking like I didn't do shit. It's like I just stood there and took the hit. Because this is a quest where I'm given free Mega Potions, it's probably best for me to be a little more liberal with my use of Mega Potions. Ah, very good. I said that I wouldn't go beyond 30 coatings, but that's alright. I just won't use... No, I will be using coatings against the Cyanator for reasons that I already explained. So I'll do that. But... yeah, based on how long this quest is going to take, I mean, we're 10 minutes in and we've only killed 2 of 4 monsters. I think this might be the last quest, actually. It's not going to be a full 2-hour VOD, but that's fine. I think that, given the circumstances, I've done all right. May as well combine to top up my power coatings. Oh, sorry, I thought I started at 60. Well, there you go. What? Well, that's not good. Okay, I might take myself down to 30 power coatings for this fight and then save the remaining amount for Labazioth. I'm balancing a few things in my head. I'm thinking that I definitely want to be strong for Labazioth so that we can reduce the amount of time that we spend fighting the last monster, you know. If we can get through Cyanator, which we should be able to do, the sooner we complete the quest, the better. The less time we have to possibly have another death, the better. As I say, I'm not feeling as bad about my water element because this bow is not elementally focused in the way that other bows can be. This still has pretty decent raw. Might stop at 40. Because these guys have thunder damage, so this is not going to be too bad. I was very focused on my capabilities, or lack thereof. But these guys are well equipped for this fight, in a way that I'm not. So this will be alright, I think. I told you, I'm really good at evading just too late. Just too late. Very good. Very quick. The monster didn't really get much of a chance to do anything. And now, it's Lavasioth time. Must be very hot for that balloon. Surprised that it's here. I don't know what would happen if a hot air balloon were to fly over a hot location. Does that make sense? Is that going to affect the lift of the balloon in any sort of way? With hot air rising from fucking lava fields? Surely that's going to have an effect. Probably not a good idea. That's my guess. Go away. I think Lavasioth starts here. I don't think he'll be starting in the area above us. There he is. He's so dopey the way he just sort of sticks his long head out, his long neck, and then just looks around. Huh? Is anyone there? That's the way I interpret that. That was really overzealous of me. And not acceptable. I need to be much more careful. Oh, I'm sorry, Yells, I do not have any ability to heal you, but my god. I'm so glad that you didn't die. We are one death away from failure here. We can't be running the risk of dying, and that also means that I have to be more responsible with how I play it. I can't be taking risks unnecessarily. We need to keep ourselves very well healed for the duration of this fight. Oh god, no. There you go. There you go, there's the failure. There's not much that can be done there, hey? I suppose the only thing you can do is sheathe your weapon and then hope that you can dive out of the way. How nasty is that? I would say that's okay. All three of us contributed to failure, so we failed as a group. We failed as a group. It's an unfortunate result. A very unfortunate result, but hey. We were close. We were close. I don't want to end on a negative note. So, how about we... oh, apparently Arx is going to leave, so that's probably going to be the conclusion. That's going to be the conclusion. So, yep, we will end on a note of failure, but that's alright. I think, while we may have failed in the quest itself, we did not fail in enjoying ourselves. I had a good time. Good to be back in Monster Hunter Freedom Unite. As I've explained, my intention for this series is not to do any Monster Hunter games back to back. The more variety I can get in uploading, the clearer it's going to be, at a glance, just how many different Monster Hunter games I play in this series. So, on the one hand, it's not going to be me cycling back through the same games that I started with, so like, now that I've done Freedom 2, it's going to be 4 Ultimate, 3 Ultimate, etc. It's also not going to be a situation where I may do 2 or 3 games repeatedly. So, it'll be somewhere in between. lots of variety, and lots of different uploads of different Monster Hunter games for this series. This is the first recording where I'm not doing an excessive introduction, it's just me in the game, and I hope you enjoyed it. I will see you next time I'm playing Monster Hunter, and I bid you all farewell for now. Bye bye.